How do you do? Charmed, I'm sure. I have never used violence on any of my charming peccadillos. I have never deliberately hurt anyone. While using the drug heroin, however, I did a few things that I now regret. I made the mistake of becoming involved with several big-time Harlem drug dealers, such as Red Dillon and Leroy Nicky Barnes, the famed Harlem entrepreneur. I met Leroy at the home of my friend Estella. Estella was Latin and Scandinavian. Yes, in other words, I believe at this time that she had a touch of the tar brush in her because she did have rather prominent negroid lips. I met Leroy outside of Stella's apartment. He looked at me and he said, "What are you waiting for? A fix?" And I said, "Yes." "Why do you ask?" I have all the heroin in the world." "I'm very pleased that you do." "Does he really?" "How much is it going to cost?" "It's not going to cost you nothing, baby. I like you." "I'm very pleased that you do, but I'd rather pay for it." Until that time, and I thought that Crisco was for baking pies. Ask your hairdresser next week. Just at that moment, Estella returned. And she walked in and she looked at me and she said, "Hi, Margo. How you doing?" "Fine, darling. You?" "Hi, Leroy. Did you meet my friend Margo?" "Yeah, she's fine. I want to give that broad anything she wants." Those were his exact words. Estella sidled over to me and she said, "I want to talk to you." So I followed her in the boudoir. I went to the boudoir and she looked at me and she said, "Listen, Margo, why don't you go with Leroy? Hey, Leroy's the biggest heroin dealer in New York." "But darling, is he that prestigious?" "You know that I'm not a real woman. You know that I am a drag queen." "That's all right. Leroy's a freak." "Leroy is a freak." And I followed Estella out of the boudoir, and then she went to Leroy and she said, "Listen, Leroy, this is funny. Margo's from very good people, but she's embarrassed because she's not for real in the downtown department." "That's all right. I like my women their way best." He then proceeded to hand Estella a large bag filled with about 1 kilo of pure heroin. He looked at her and he said, "Well, why don't you and Margo go get yourself straight?" So we turned to walk away and he said, "Hey, Margo, how long you been using this stuff?" "No, not overly long, no. I got into it through bad boyfriends and lovers and whatnot. No, it's too sordid. I'd rather not get into it." I said I'd rather not get into it. Just that moment, I looked at him and I said, "And you, Mr. Barnes, how long have you been using this stuff?" I don't use that shit." And I thought, "Oh, you poison peddlers, the misery that you wreak." But I was about to give him a piece of my mind, but I changed it after all. I was deeply addicted to heroina at that time, and I was not about to blow a shot. So I followed Estella into the boudoir, and we cooked it up and injected it, and it was excellent. Why, it was the very best heroin that I'd ever had. I knew that I would have to work extra hard in order to get the money for this pure stuff. Yes, I would have to work extra hard trying to sell at bogus pussy. When you don't have real pussy, you're trying to sell that bogus pussy. Yes, in other words, I have been giving them lips, hips, and fingertips instead of the real thing. Why, just that afternoon, a gentleman had importuned upon me in front of the Plaza Hotel, when the Plaza was the Plaza and not this piece of shit that is today. He had given me his room key with a $100 bill wrapped around it, and I went up to his room. Yes, he was about 75 years old, from the Midwest, Kansas City. I believe he was in the meat business, married 45 years, wanted to eat pussy. There he was, down on his knees, licking hair between the crease of the leg and the pubic hair. Oh, he was licking away, happy as a pig in shit. Oh yes, thought he was eating pussy. Married 45 years, never saw a cunt in his life. Unfortunately, the G-string which held my penis back burst, and my cock went flying in his face. What would you do? What would you do? I left him for dead. After I'd gone through some degrees and came out of my nod, I went out to Leroy and I said to Leroy, how much do I owe you? You don't owe me nothing, baby. Why don't you come with me up to my apartment, up to Lenox Hill Terrace? What, pray tell, I asked, is the Lenox Hill Terrace? Baby, that's where the grand niggas in Harlem live. How dare you use that odious N-word in my presence? Why, you are nothing but ill-bred and ill-read. Mama, don't call me mama. What are you, an orphan? Baby, all us niggas call each other nigga. That's not the same thing. What are you, racist or something? No, I understood. You see, a thing is a thing. You see? He was trying to say it was not the same thing. So I stood there chastised. And I looked at him and I said, Mr. Barnes, let me see if perhaps I understand you now. Perhaps what you're saying is if I would accompany you up to your apartment, up to Lenox Hill Terrace, that you would bestow upon me, shall we say, a gratuity in heroin instead of cash. And being the really bitch that I was in those days, I would turn a trick for heroin any time. So we went up to the site of the still ever so charming Lenox Terrace apartments. And when we went up to his apartment, he had two apartments, 7A and apartment 7B, 4 plus 4. He opened the door, and the place was beautifully furnished. He had Louis XIV chairs, Regency tables, Oriental carpets. I said, Leroy, these are all authentic antiques. Where did you get them? I may be just a dumb nigga, baby, but I got friends that got taste. And I know this big bull dyke, and she decorated this place for me. Well, what shall I do? Where shall I go? Baby, why don't you just make yourself to home? Make yourself to home is another old-time nigga expression. It means make yourself at home. You see? Now I went in the boudoir and I opened up the closet. And there were all sorts of beautiful women's clothes and fabulous furs. And just that moment, Leroy appeared at my side. Take off that dress. Come now, let us not be vulgar. Lay down on the bed, Leroy, and I'll take care of business for you. But he disappeared in the pissoir. When he returned, he was completely naked, about 43 years old, not black, but with skin the color of urine. He was, as we say in Harlem, a piss-colored trick baby. He was about 43 years old, quite calmly, with a big, huge cock. I then did remove my black linen sheath and was left standing in my black silk slip. It might have been satin, I don't know, but it was not cotton. It also had a large lace rim that went all the way around. 19 Belgian nuns went blind embroidering that lace. 19, gone! However, they were later canonized, which is all those poor bitches live for anyways. I then took off that slip and was left standing in my tight black pantygown with the penis pushed underneath so that you couldn't feel a thing. See? It's called the deception. To deceive. He latched onto that pantygown and pulled it right down my ankles. And I stepped out, and I was almost 100% naked, except for long, natural red hair, 17 or 18 inches past my shoulders, 2 pairs of false eyelashes, and the lipstick of my late dear friend, the great Tallulah Brompton Bankhead, Victory Red, by Elizabeth Arden. He then said, "I love your white ass. How can you make a declaration of love unto me when we have not known each other for 4 hours, when I have not consummated any sex with you whatsoever, and when I have not seen a damn bit of heroin thus far?" He then put his hands where they should not have been for a supposed heterosexual gentleman, and he said, "Get it hard." "What are you talking about? Oh, I'm not going to get anything hard." I want you to fuck me." "I am shocked and distraught at your lack of masculine behavior. I am first and foremost a lady in thought and deed. Second of all, I am a drag queen, and that will cost you extra." We then proceeded to do all sorts of freakish things that did seem to please and gratify him. When we were through, I looked at him and I said, "Little boy, and I have yet to see a damn bit of heroin thus far." And he went to a closet and pulled out a large bag filled up to here with pure uncut heroin. He brought it over to me and he said, Baby, you just take what you want." And I thought, how divine. And I want to stay forever. And then he went to another closet and pulled a large bag this high, filled with $100 bills. And he dragged it over to me and he said, "Baby, you just take what you need." And I took about 40 of them because I didn't have money for gum, cigarettes, or cab. And I thought to myself, well, Miss Margo, you know how you always put 1 and 1 together and get 2. And I thought, he's the biggest heroin dealer in New York. He's quite comely. He has a big, huge cock. He does have large bags filled with mucho dinero and large quantities of pure uncut heroin laying au naturel around the apartment. And I thought, it's not unlikely that this man does qualify to be my next husband. Of course, that's another chapter in my recently published book, I Was a White Slave in Harlem. Yes, you can get it at B. Dalton's. Go out and buy the book, bitch.